welcome back to my channel. I hope you're doing so well. Hope life is treating you okay. We're doing something a little bit different today. So as you can see, we're in my kitchen and today I am going to be showing you guys delicious recipes that I like to cook, I like to make myself, that will feed you for a full week, that are high in protein, pretty low in fat, they're healthy, they're delicious. I try and eat more vegan and vegetarian food than I do meat and fish. I'm slowly transitioning. I'm trying out loads of recipes and trying to get more confident with my vegan and veggie cooking, as I'm sure you can tell by my videos, but I do still eat meat once, twice a week, depending. So I'm going to be meal prepping loads and loads of food with you guys today. A lot of it will go in the freezer. They're really delicious, pretty easy. I will be cooking some of the recipes using my air fryer, which is my new baby. You don't need an air fryer, you can do these in the oven. This is just a little bit quicker and gets things a little bit crispier with a little bit less oil, but all of these are very much doable in the oven. Without further ado, I hope you guys enjoy. And if you want to see more of these, make sure you let me know. I think I want to do my 5 healthy desserts, maybe 5 healthy snacks. If you'd like to see more videos in this style, let me know. Let's get cooking. All right, ladies and gents, on to the first recipe. So this is a personal favorite that Tim and I love to make. It is a veggie tray bake, so easy, and also you can use literally any vegetables you want. I've got 1.5 courgettes, 2 aubergines, I actually ended up only using the 1, some leeks, some asparagus, peppers, tomatoes are pretty important, it keeps it nice and juicy. I used an onion and 2 carrots and then a shed load of garlic, which you'll see in a bit. So all you want to do is cut up your veg, make them pretty even. I like to cut them into sticks rather than coins, but you can totally do whatever you want. Add all your favourite vegetables. You can add mushrooms if you like, whatever you fancy, baby cakes, it's all good. So yeah, just slice them and dice them and then I'll tell you what to do next. So you want to keep the onion pretty whole, just cut it into quarters, and as well as the tomatoes, keep them pretty large as well, and keep the garlic whole too. I use a little bit of oil. I really try to minimize the amount of oil I use when I cook, but use more if you'd like to. So I just do a couple of sprays of oil and then bung everything into the tray. 1 more spritz of oil, some salt and pepper, very important. As you can see here, I'm adding a little hole in the middle, like a little well. This is for the garlic because you're going to want to take the garlic out first, so it's nice to be able to locate it in the tray. So I just put it smack bang in the middle so I know where it is, and then I just pop this into the oven for 50 minutes on 180 degrees, and yeah, step 1 complete. Now it's time to make the sauce or the dressing. It's really simple. So I use about 1 to 2 tablespoons of olive oil, a tablespoon of lemon juice, some salt and pepper. And then once the 50 minutes is up, I actually take out the tray, remove the garlic, put it to one side, give it a little stir around, you know. I'm gonna pop in some extra yumminess. I'm gonna add in about a handful of plum tomatoes. I'm gonna keep those whole, and about 50 grams of nuts. My favorite nut is cashew. You could use blanched almonds if you'd like. You just want to bung the garlic cloves into your pre-made sauce and just break it apart. This will go, oh my god, it is so delicious. Oh, and then you want to pour half of the sauce onto the vegetables, pop it back in for the final 10 minutes, and then once that is done, voila, look at all that gooey yumminess. This is not supposed to be pretty, okay? If it looks pretty, you've done it wrong. You want to break it apart, pull the veggies apart, make it super sloppy. This is so good served with crusty bread. It's just the best. Tim and I love this one. On to number 2, veggie couscous. We were buying the Tesco couscous, which is expensive. It's just lazy, man. I could make it myself. All I'm doing here is using 150 grams of couscous. Fill it up with 1 part couscous to 1.5 part water. Then just pop a plate on top and then leave that until all the water is gone. And then there's some more cutting. You can see my Diet Coke to the side there. Busted, I love Diet Coke. You want to cut up your veg, but this time you want to go pretty small with it. I'm using half a courgette and half of an aubergine. Handful of those grape tomatoes, half a red onion and half of a red bell pepper, and then 2 cloves of garlic, which again you're going to keep whole. Now I am going to use my air fryer. Like I said, you could do the exact same technique as what I used for the first recipe when roasting the vegetables. Just put them in the oven. This keeps them crispy on the outside but soft and squishy on the inside, which is, oh my god, so good. I barely use any oil, so as you can see I'm popping them in there, giving them a few spritz of olive oil, really not a lot, salt and pepper. I'm going to cook that at 180 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. Now the couscous is cooked, I'm going to transfer it into a bigger bowl. I actually added a veggie stock into the water. I completely forgot to show you. You could have just done it in the bigger bowl in the first place, but I'm a mug and didn't think about that. The veggies are ready. Look at how amazing they look. So as you can see, similarly to the first recipe, I have just taken the garlic out and it is nice and soft, so I can cut it up really easily and then just stir that through, give it a good mix, add a little extra salt and pepper if you like. I just chucked in a few basil leaves because basil is my weakness, and bam, the easiest, yummiest veggie couscous ever. And honestly, this just gets better with time alongside your protein of choice, which is what I'm going to show you now. There is no excuse for you guys to be eating plain, boring, dry chicken breast, okay? I'm going to show you a really nice, really simple chicken breast rub. I just put half a teaspoon of salt, black pepper, a teaspoon of oregano, chuck that bad boy right in, basil, my fave, my main bae, love that, a teaspoon of that, paprika, a teaspoon, lol, chili flakes, just sprinkle some of those in, cayenne pepper if you like a bit of heat, I'd sprinkle some of that on in, hot chili because I wanted even more heat, delish, and then a good teaspoon of rosemary. Stir that all up, yum yum. And then to make it stick to the breast, I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of apple cider vinegar, add a little bit of acidity to this here dish, and then a few sprays of oil, not a lot at all, because again, I'm going to be cooking this in the air fryer. You're going to want to coat your chicken breast. I'm using 2 large chicken breasts here, which will make 3 to 4 cooked portions for me, and I cover it with the seasoning, flip it over, cover the other side, give it a good rub-a-dub-dub. Then I'm going to cover it and put it to one side for 20 minutes to let it marinate. You can leave it for longer, you can leave it overnight in the fridge if you want. Then I'm going to pop it into my air fryer at 180 degrees for 15 minutes, turn in between, another 15 minutes, and boom! Perfectly cooked, crunchy on the outside and moist and juicy on the inside. It is so easy to do. You don't need dry, boring chicken breast anymore. Look at that. So you can pop that with your roasted veg, or I also like to pop it with the couscous. It's a great meal prep option for me. See what I'm doing here? I'm showing you different combinations of the same ingredients. Genius. Great, groovy, fabulous work everyone. We're over halfway there. On to the next recipe, a creamy mushroom pasta sauce. Okay, so what you're going to need, obviously, mushrooms. I've got a variety here, approximately 80 grams worth, 3 cloves of garlic, half a red onion and some veggie stock. You're also going to need milk. I use soy milk. I'm using 80 grams of pasta here, and then doubling the amount of pasta with broccoli, so 160 grams of broc and 100 grams of cashew nuts. You're also going to want some lemon juice and some soy sauce. Mine's reduced salt, and let's get chopping. Cut up your mushrooms nice and small. Itty bitty. Fun fact, I actually hate mushrooms, so the fact that I enjoy this sauce means kind of a lot. I think for me it's more of a texture thing, so you'll see how I make the texture slightly more bearable because I really like how this tastes. It's like a vegan cheesy mushrooms pasta sauce, and it's actually super delicious. So cut up that half of an onion, slice up your garlic. So you're going to want to have put your pasta on the boil for 5 minutes, and then for the final 5 minutes you want to put your broccoli in to finish cooking with it, and then chuck your onion and your garlic into a pan. I'm not using any oil just to keep calories down. That is what the stock is for. So while you're making your pasta and boiling the kettle, also make your stock to keep the pan nice and lubricated. Stop it from burning. And then once your onions have reached what I call the biting point, which is when they start to get fragrant and slightly transparent, you can chuck in your mushrooms and just keep stirring them, keep slowly adding the stock to keep it moving, and you'll see that it starts to reduce down and get really juicy and delish. Once you are happy with the state of your mushrooms, take them off the heat and it's time to make the creamy sauce. You're going to want to put your cashews into your blender, add 500 ml of your milk of choice, and I also ended up adding nutritional yeast, about 2 tablespoons, to give it that cheesy taste. Salt and pepper, as always, about a teaspoon of salt and a good few cracks of pepper and 2 teaspoons of lemon juice as well. My throat is getting so dry doing this voiceover. Wow. Blend them all together until completely smooth to make a delicious creamy sauce, which you then add back into your mushrooms, which you've put back on the heat. It mixes with the juices that the salt have pulled out of the mushrooms. So stir that all together. And because, like I said, I hate the texture of mushrooms, I actually go back in with the blender and blend about 75% of it. So there are way less lumps of mushroom in the sauce. Then you just pop it back in. It turns it a less attractive grey colour, but hey. And then I also rinse the blender with the rest of the stock just to make sure you get every little bit of goodness. Then just stir it through, make sure it is all mixed. You can add extra salt and pepper if you'd like to. And it's time to plate up. Now, I've made enough pasta for 2 to 3 servings, but this sauce is enough to have loads frozen as well, which is what I like to do. So I put probably about half a cup of sauce per serving of this. Then I put the rest in Tupperwares and freeze it for a rainy day, aka today, because it's raining. Oh baby, it's the last recipe, and this is a good one. I'm gonna make you guys vegan barbecue ribs. That's right. So all you need is a packet of tempeh, which is kind of like tofu. If you'd like to use tofu, you can. This is just a bit firmer, and I'm gonna cut that up into 4 and then cut them across. So you've got 8 maths. While that cooks, I'm going to cut up half a sweet potato. This is going to make enough for 2 portions. So a quarter of a sweet potato per portion. Put them into little fries to get them cut up into pretty equal slices. And then it is time to make the barbecue sauce. Guys, this sauce is unbelievably good. So you're going to need some tomato puree, some maple syrup, soy sauce, and a hot sauce of choice. This is the Nando's Peri Peri Hot. So I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of maple syrup, 1 teaspoon of soy sauce, 1 teaspoon of hot sauce, and a teaspoon of tomato puree, and then a couple teaspoons of water to keep it loose. So now the sauce is done and the tempeh is cooked. There they are. You're going to want to take them out of the oven and replace them with the sweet potato fries, which you're going to want to cook for around 25 minutes to make them crispy. Add a tiny bit of oil, some salt, and I like to add paprika to give it a bit of kick, and let the air fryer do its thing, or the oven. You can also do this in the oven. So now you want to put your tempeh on a high heat on your hob and add the barbecue sauce. It's pretty runny and it doesn't look like a nice sticky sauce yet, but this is going to get really hot really quickly. So keep it moving, because it is going to start to thicken because of that maple syrup and get so gooey and delicious. Look at it, it's already starting to go. Look at it bubble. And this is also softening the outside slightly of the tempeh. So it's kind of got that crispy yet soft texture that you kind of get with fried meat. And look at that shine. Yum. Then the sweet potato fries are done and you just need to plate up. Look at how sticky that tempeh looks. Oh my god, so good. It's got a good amount of protein. We've got some carbohydrates, some fats in there, and like I said, that's enough for 2 days. Yeah, that is a week's worth of meal prep, probably more like 2 weeks to be honest, of lunches and dinners. I really hope you guys enjoyed. These are some of my go-tos at the minute, and I hope you enjoy watching as much as I enjoy eating them. So make sure you let me know if you try these out yourself. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you are new, and leave any requests on recipe videos of this style you'd like to see, because I've really enjoyed making this one. And I love you lots. Have the best day, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the What to Wear Wednesday. Bye!